I'm shifting gears as I'm trying to figure out a plan. Reluctantly dragged myself in at 5 a.m. to the sound of quiet. I always like that sound, but it doesn't last. I grab the key to the property manager's office, fire up the computer, and try to pull up my legal Zoom info, so I can try to open this business account during the week. Why am I sneaking into the office to do this? My printer is out of ink. So I'm trying to wait for this slow-ass machine to boot up, and I hear footsteps. Someone walks by the office through the community room to get to the elevator. SMH. Already. Putting my attempts on hold for the day since the caseworkers decided to alternate which one of them comes in on weekends now. Kinda strains the peace aspect. I sit and scroll through a list of videos about the best banks and business lines of credit. When the tenant with the food stand approaches the desk, she alerts me that she's not feeling too good from standing out in the cold selling breakfast and lunch items. So you're sick? And your first thought was to come talk to me. Don't I feel special? She breaks her rant to notice the irritation on my face, and she begins to ask what's wrong. Still in my feelings about this car, I tell her it's nothing and keep scrolling. She lets me know that she can see something is up and doesn't like seeing me like this. She offers me half of an unopened Long Island. Fuck it. Why not? As she pours into an Arizona bottle I had. I turn away because another tenant decided to walk through the door. Now I'm waiting because, of course, they had to hold a conversation with one another about the cold, being sick, and being in pain. All of which I could have gone the rest of my day not hearing. From toothaches to backaches, from missing gallbladders to cold sores. I just wanted to get back to peace and quiet. As the intrusive tenant left, I chugged what little there was and her focus shifted straight to business. She told me of her productive day, the compliments on the food, running out of inventory, even random donations. Glad to hear of her successful run. Her focus turns to me. She enlisted my help before. I've drawn some designs for her and pressed out a few hoodies. But that operation had a lack of communication, which led to me getting back to my own ideas. This time she needs technical help. It's not that she can't learn to work a computer, she refuses to take the time and effort. Feels her talent is more so in her hustle and someone else can handle the tech side. If I can help her go in the right direction, I will. I just can't neglect my own path. She says she found help, but not the right type of help. She will get out and do the work. She just feels it'll go further with my research. As I'm contemplating giving this partnership a second run. The little horny tenant. I'ma call her Bonnie. She limps through the first set of doors on her walker, and as she makes it to the second set, Lois assists her holding the door and complimenting Bonnie on her attire. Louis sweats and some JS. Bonnie sighs and reluctantly thanks Lois for the compliment, then lets it be known that she would have rather had that money put into her education. Bonnie exclaims that it's rude to buy someone a gift without asking them what they want first. Lois replied, "Not if it's a gift," sounding like a scolded child. With a heavy, frustrated breath, Bonnie exclaims that maybe she is being ungrateful then. Lois tells her that she is, but that she's only acting ungrateful because she's in her feelings. Lois tells Bonnie to relax and let go of some of the stress on her shoulders. To that, Bonnie replies, "You're right, I'ma go soak in the tub and jag off." Whoops. I just said that in front of him. As Slow rolls past me to the door. Me unbothered and still in my phone. Have learned how to tune out some things. But it's annoying how you play the, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that out loud," to blatantly repeating it. Making some smart comment after when I gave no response. Just a blank stare dead into my phone, as if I'm being hypnotized by the floating dollar signs from the online loan app that was lingering in my email. FK all this noise. I got to get back to planning. My brain just needed a break. Much love to the bro for giving me his portable Wi-Fi so I can edit my videos at work. I'm sitting here working on the third version of this character design, hoping this one fits the creator's ideal antagonist. Sketching and editing. I throw on some GZ. Something about thug motivation 101 that gets you ready. Whispering. You gotta believe. You gotta believe. Over the sound of money counters going off. That just puts you in a zone before the beat even kicks in. I started this to give you a day in the life. Nothing too violent. Mostly a lot of stupidity. Might as well go back to Bonnie real quick. She has to be Mrs. Glass because she came in the building from an accident. And months later she's been in another. All of 4 feet and maybe 60 pounds soaking wet. Bonnie likes to party. Stays drunk and continues to have random guys in and out. They are a consistent few. So it's not too crazy. But still. One tenant says she's selling her goods. Not my business as long as it doesn't endanger the building. Then a couple of co-workers say the creepy old guy she constantly brings over here isn't really her quote UN quote uncle. I refused to get invested. Until it became my business. There were days when she would have some guy upstairs with her and she would tell me not to let anyone up. Even her uncle. Okay. He would stop by with gifts. Trying to bring her money. Trying to give her a new phone. But she didn't want to be bothered. Now her new boy toy is acting up and she no longer wants him around, so the uncle is free to visit again. During the holidays. Bonnie volunteers info that I could care less about, but gets messy later. She told me the other guy was her boyfriend and that he broke up with her before Christmas. That sucks. But. Okay. And now he's no longer allowed over. Got it. Days later. Bonnie is leaving the case manager's office and tells me that her ex might show up for his headphones, but she'll deal with that another day. I should have known better. He shows up looking for his headphones. I relay the message, but he's insistent on going up to talk to her. I call over and over. To no answer. And then it happens. As soon as the door opens, MFS feel compelled to just run through and hop on the elevator. As he's banging on her door. Bonnie finally calls the desk, tell me that I need to handle this. Bish, you're the one with his property. Just give him shit so he can leave. Thought that. But didn't say it. I travel upstairs to remove the young man. He kept pleading his case and trying to get me to call her back. I stated that she doesn't want to be bothered and that she'll talk to him tomorrow. He keeps pushing me to call, so I flat out say the next call will be the police because now you're trespassing. After an awkward elevator ride, he still tries to claim his property. So I call one more time. Now she's yelling at him and he's yelling at her. The entire time. I'm the one holding the phone. At this point, I see no resolution. She hangs up on me while he's still yelling. So I tell him to just come back tomorrow. Now I'm the subject of anger. I'm getting barked at by this little chihuahua and at this point I'm over it. I dial 911 and as I'm on the phone with the operator, I'm being called all types of bitches and hoes. I'm just praying he stays until I'm done with the call because I'm putting all types of hands and feet on this little bastard. He leaves before the call is over, so my next call is back to Bonnie because the case manager was in her office and heard the entire altercation. I told Bonnie she needs to bring his shit down now in case he comes back for it. This time, she reluctantly brings his shit. Why TF didn't you just do this in the first FKN place? The case manager emerges from her office to ask if everything was okay. And this is where the story gets weird. Keep in mind, she told me he was her boyfriend and broke up with her over the holidays. She tells the case manager that he was her home care agent and he's mad because she fired him for being lazy. What the entire fuck, lady? Is this what we do? After realizing I had it under control, the case manager leaves for the day. And now Bonnie wants to sit down here and tell me how embarrassed she is for having to deal with this. I'm ignoring her rant because at this point I want to kick her ass out too. You did all of this. Claimed you didn't want to be bothered. Now you're calling him back over because you so called want him to kiss your feet. To make it up to you. What is wrong with y'all? Now this clown comes back to the building and as soon as he walks in he's mad apologetic. Telling me he's sorry, and he knows I'm just trying to do my job as a mediator, and he had no right to act like that. He offered his hand. I wanted to yank his arm off and beat him with it. But after a firm grip, she ordered him into the elevator and I let him go.